Whiteness is a cult, and they will always come to the defense of their cult members.
Right. White people are the ones who are wearing t-shirts about how proud they are about their race. White people are the ones rallying in the streets about their race. White people are the ones race-swapping characters, even though it's completely historically inaccurate. White people are the ones getting their own categories on Uber Eats, Hulu, and Netflix. And of course, it was in the name of white people that we got over $2 billion in damages here in the United States due to the riots that happened in 2020. Not to mention the 20-plus people who died in the mostly peaceful protests. All that, and when you're a white person who tries to talk about it and call them out and say that they're engaged in groupthink and suppressing skepticism, they tell you you're not a white person anymore. That lady's right. Whiteness is the cult.
So we don't think that the Stop Woke Act and the whole Go Woke, Go Broke is not engaging in groupthink, suppressing skepticism? Are there not cult members that wear t-shirts about their racial heritage not being hate with Confederate flags? PragerU University, Go Woke, Go Broke. Don't you work for the cult known as PragerU? And then why she bring up race swapping? Gods of Egypt. This movie came out in 2016, and I don't remember hearing no conservative chaos about there being race swapping. And what she say about Uber Eats and black business owners? The racial gap of business ownership explained in 4 charts. Education is elevation. Don't take my word for it. You can read the article. Perhaps this is why Donald Trump tried to give the Platinum Plus plan to give, $500 billion to black people? Facts over feelings. 93% of those peaceful protests that you call riots did not equate to no violence. But of course, the PragerU cult got you on the payroll. So, you got to make these type of claims. And what she say about particular people taking the streets? And January 6th don't exist. And she's actually responding in defense of the cult of white kinship. You see what I'm saying? But listen, they act more outraged over Target and CVS than $2.73 million damage at the nation's capital? Come on now.
Being on time is white supremacy, because what are they always on time to do? Oppress.
Y'all gotta be smoking dollar store dog food. Being on time is white supremacy? For the last time, we're not oppressed. White people are not oppressing black people. You got to get that shit out of your head. You have to. Because if we're talking that shit, people of color are oppressing white people. I have a million examples. Disney's just one of them. This is why I'm on this app, y'all. This type of video is why I'm on this app. It makes no sense. You're not oppressed. Okay, if you are feeling oppressed, you're doing it to yourself. This victim mentality has to go, man. It really does have to go. Because like I said in plenty of my videos, I've been black for 32 years on this earth, and I have yet to be oppressed by a white person. Leave white people alone. At this point, you're just coming up with bullshit to fuck with them. You couldn't pay me to say no stupid shit like that on the internet.
Leave white people alone. I'm 32 years old too, But let's get into the facts first. The colonization of time is a highly original and long overdue examination of the ways that Western European and specifically British concepts and rituals of time were imposed on other cultures as a fundamental component of colonization during the 19th century. And this is the part that's funny. We not oppressed until it's time to start talking about the 1992 crime bill or the Democratic plantation, all right? Anyways, the book is called The Colonization of Time. It explores the ritual routine and resistance to the British Empire, which literally illustrates white supremacy. And then what he say about Disney? Don't get too lost in the sauce about partisanship politics that you forget that Disney is owned by white people that commodifies and continues to monetize multicultural sentiments, what I meant to say. Back to this book, though, because, education is elevation. All those intrigued by the concept of time will find this book of interest, for it illustrates how Western European time rises to the position of global dominance. From the clock to the 7-day-a-week is one of the most pervasive, enduring, and taken for granted legacies of colonization in today's world. Education is elevation, and tell that dude to go pick up a book and take that coon hat off. Literally, you wearing a coon hat, bro. Like, come on, man. You playing.
I recognize that the woke mind virus represents a war on the truth, so we will wage a war on the woke. We will fight the woke in education. We will fight the woke in the corporations. We will fight the woke in the halls of Congress. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. We will make woke ideology, leave it to the dustbin of history. It's gone. I'm proud.
This man is running a presidential campaign off of stopping the woke. I mean, what in the victim mentality is going on here? If y'all ever want to understand how masterful it is to create an enemy that doesn't exist, so you can try to rally your constituents to try to go at the enemy and literally say the enemy is anything. Hey, woke is being gay. Woke is talking about black stuff. Woke is being communist. Woke is being socialist. Woke is anything that's not white, damn near, if you want to say it, right? Woke is the young people doing wah, wah, wah. Hey, man, the way that black things get co-opted, it's so crazy, right? Marcus Garvey in 1920 was not talking about the LGBT community. He was not talking about whatever the hell conservatives think they was talking about. When he said, wake up, Ethiopia, wake up, Africa. He was talking about having a certain mind of consciousness and understanding about who you are and how you position in this world. You see what I'm saying? All of a sudden, that has become dangerous. I'm gonna say all of a sudden, because, you know, Massa never wanted us to know who he was and how he's positioned. That's the reason why they outlawed us being able to read. And you see right here, there's a new consciousness going on where we want to read, and look what they're doing. Attacking education and making it where you cannot read about the knowledge of self and or black history in the classroom. See what I'm saying? Hey, they're going to talk about victim mentality, but victim mentality allowed for policies to be built because they believed that there was a potential for white kids to be attacked. It don't get no better than that. Education is elevation. And Ron DeSantis, you doing the devil's work, man. You're doing a good job, too. Congratulations. It's simple. Most Americans want the same thing. A life where they can be who they are, have enough money to have a home, afford life's basic needs, a little left over for a vacation every once in a while, and the ability to retire comfortably. Meanwhile, most Americans ain't getting none of that. We all getting tricked out and pimped out on how innovative capitalism is. Meanwhile, the CEO is experiencing record high profits and we ain't getting nothing. If you work hard, stick to your grind, give all your spare times to your employer, you will not be a millionaire. You will just be a clown for capitalism. Billionaires ain't there as a result of working hard. They there because they mastered how to exploit and take advantage while giving the least while taking the most. Church, education is elevation. All the outrage behind Cleopatra's race in this new movie on Netflix is very telling. Gods of Egypt came out in 2016 with these two dudes, and I don't remember nobody being pissed off about historical accuracy. And before I go any further in this video, let's be clear. Consciously believes it is preposterous to use modern day racial constructs of identity to try to understand how identity worked in ancient Africa. Don't do that. Because Cleopatra was probably racially ambiguous, just like Amber Rose, if we're keeping it real. And conservatives worried about historical accuracy. Hey, listen, if Jesus existed, we know he ain't look like this. Somehow, blackwashing and Afrocentric ideas are under attack in Egypt, huh? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. And for the modern day Egyptians trying to play these games, not all, but the ones trying to play these games, we can acknowledge the ancient Egyptians was not of Greek descent or of Arab descent. So stop playing them games for real. Either way it go, modern day settlers get to control the narrative today, right?